Transaction rollback is here and I am already up in master rank with it. It is currently the 10th. Transaction rollback came out on the 8th. I ranked up yesterday. It took me a day, just a day, to get into master using this new card. The whole community's talking about it. I'll show you my desk list, explain how I used it. Timestamps are at the bottom. Please skip around, and with that, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to get started here. This is going to be a little more in-depth for the explanation part of the deck profile, just because we are dealing with the new card here, but I do plan on putting pretty in-depth timestamps, so please skip around to what you're interested. We're going to start off with the most fundamental things, get more in-depth as we go on. So, first, most fundamental thing, what's our go first plan? What's our go second plan? So our go second plan is pretty easy. We're going to stop them with hand traps. We play a lot because Snake-Eyes plays a lot, and we got to compete with them. So we have 14 hand traps and 3 going second cards in evenly matched. So we're playing Effect Veiler because Snake-Eyes is really weak to it. We play Imperm because we synergize with it. We also like evenly matched because we synergize it with it. It's a hand trap, not a hand trap, it's a normal trap, so it helps us. But also, most Snake-Eyes end boards do not really have an answer for this. Most of them are not ending on Barone, they're ending on Apo, which is also what I do when I play Snake-Eyes. So this really gets rid of them. It gets rid of their recursion because it removes the field spell. Evenly matched is really cracked against Snake-Eyes. But not getting too ahead of ourselves, what's our going second plan? So really going second, we want to set a custom trap from the deck using our Labrynth cards and end their turn with it. Typically we're going to be using Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. And this brings us to the importance of our lovelies. So last upload we were playing a full trap Labrynth, not our lovelies, our big ladies. So lovely and lady are really going to help us out here with our going first plan, because the importance of lovely and something that we're going to keep in mind and abuse is that when she is on the field, your opponent cannot respond to your normal trap effects. So that really limits what they can do when we're sitting a custom trap from the deck. So our go first plan is that we want both Welcome Labrynth and Big Welcome Labrynth on the field going into our opponent's turn. Most MasterDuel players learn from their communities, they're taught to negate the Big Welcome Labrynth. But here's the thing, if you go Welcome Labrynth first, and then you get Lovely on the field, they can't negate your Big Welcome with Ash anyway, because remember, when Lovely's on the field, they cannot respond with monster effects to your normal trap cards. So a lot of people just end up not using their negates, because they'll like want to save it for the Big Welcome, and like, we're going to get Lovely, and they won't be able to do anything. So, that being said, going first, we're going to go no turn 1 coup clock plays. So a turn 1 coup clock play is when you like rip cards from your opponent's hand. So I was doing that a lot in my last video, but that play is kind of greedy because you're sinking 3 cards into something that can potentially be negated. Instead of like doing all that and posting it all on like a turn 1 coup clock play it safe and get both your Welcome Lab traps on the field. And then on your opponent's turn, we're going to bounce coup clock to our hand or get it to our hand somehow, usually with perhaps a Welcome Labrynth. And then once we do that, we'll set a normal trap with Big Lady, and it gets really intense. So with the normal traps we're setting, we're probably going to set Daruma Karma Cannon, which ends turns entirely. And you'll notice this deck list has no virus. This deck list has no D barrier. Not that those cards aren't good at ending turns, but you only need to search 1 trap to end your opponent's turn anyway. So I would rather have space for maybe a more niche trap card and use Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon, because this really is like killing the meta right now. So in terms of the extra deck, so as per usual, we're using Dogmatica Punishment to send our extra deck cards to the grave to pop a monster and gain their effect. A card that is not here that I should have put in, but I didn't want to change the list that I hit master with, that I think a lot of decks will be running, is a Kick Kalos, because Kick Kalos sends 5 cards from the top of the deck to the grave, and we're going to be using that to abuse our newest addition, Transaction Rollback. So this is ridiculous. When Transaction Rollback's in the grave, you just win, because sometimes they can survive. This turns even the most simplistic trap into something busted. Let's say you're going into an opponent's turn with just like an infinite impermanence, they're probably going to play through that. But if you have an infinite impermanence and transaction in the grave, and it suddenly becomes 2 negates, like, they might not play through that. And all the things you have in your hand, like, who's playing through 2 destructive Daruma Karma Cannons? No one. And it can become anything. It can be a big welcome. It can be a welcome. It's just a really good card, and I would maybe play this at 3. But again, I didn't want to deviate from the list I got into Master with, because that feels a little disingenuous to me. So I mentioned earlier that we're playing a lot of hand traps to compete with Snake-Eyes. I do have a fully built Snake-Eyes deck, so you're probably wondering, why am I not just playing Snake-Eyes? To be honest, it's because the combo takes too long, and there's a lot of... It's very non-linear, which I do like. That's a good thing. I like how you can look up your own combo and get efficient at it yourself. So like my Snake-Eyes line, for like normal summon Ash, it plays around Nibiru, it plays around Droll, because I made sure like I used a pretty good line. But that being said, it's a lot of investment for something that really could just still die to the same old hand traps, and MasterDuel kind of punishes you for taking a long time because it has a timer. So thinking's kind of like discouraged to an extent, and there are a lot of games that I would have won, but I just ran out of time. And I'd rather have a deck like Lab that takes literally not even a minute turn 1 than a deck like, I mean, Lab takes like, what, 20 seconds turn 1, and I can just think on my opponent's turn, where a deck like Snake-Eyes that takes a lot of setup, and then you run out of time and just lose to the clock. So, yeah, let me look over my notes here. Anything I'm missing? Justification of one of traps. Terrors of the Overroot, really good. The reason I have this instead of Virus again is that, like, if I can set a custom trap, I'm probably, like, Daruma Karma Cannon ends of the turn anyway, the vast majority of the time. D-Barrier doesn't hit the best deck of the game, and I wanted a trap that could deal with multiple things. So this deals with spell trap removal, it deals with things that can be destroyed, it deals with monsters. It's just really, really good. And I wanted a versatility, which is why I really wanted to have multiples of trap cards that can help me in different situations. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Ghost Belle. This is here because Flameburge. It's really good when Flameburge tries to revive the Snake-Eyes monsters. You chain Ghost Belle, their turn's over.
Okay, I got through the deck profile the first time and realized I forgot to go over the extra deck, and I didn't tap every single card in the deck. So here we go. Elder Entity Entis, send it to the grave, pop a card. Excellent. You can banish this from your grave on your turn, destroy a spell trap. Excellent, especially with Kashtira everywhere. Garura, send to the grave, draw a card. Excellent. 5-headed dragon, just big for Dogmatic Punishment, because you need to send a monster with higher attack than the one you want to destroy. This is a new addition. Didn't use it, but excellent. Shuffles into the deck if sent to the grave. We have Chaos Angel. Don't think I ever made this, but we have furniture, so we can make it. Baguska, never made this once. Might remove this for Kit Kalos. We have Nightmare Phoenix. Mudcracker, very, very, very good. This does come up. Revives a fiend from the grave, so you can use an effect again. Protects your fiend monsters. Excellent, excellent, excellent card, which is why I run 2 of them, because I don't want to banish this off my pot of extravagance. Also, I'm only running 1 pot because I needed space, okay, sue me. Nightmare Unicorn, very good. Spins a card back to the deck. And this you can send to the grave, and then it sends your Garura, so you can pop a big monster, and you can still draw. So there's the extra deck. And, yeah, I might as well just show every card in the deck. Why not? Effect Veiler, Ku-Klok, Maxi, Stove Torby, Ash, Ghost Belle, Chandelier, Ariana. Did not play Ariane because she had to send a normal trap to the grave, and although that could be good if you send a transaction rollback, it could be, like, terrible every other time. But I see some deck list running here. I think it's pretty nice. Tears of the Overroot, Karma Cannon, big welcome, and the star of the show, transaction rollback. And with that, we can get into the replays. For real this time.
Okay, game 1, going up against Snake-Eyes. Draw 4 hand traps and a starter. And you're going to see why we play so many. They normal summon their Poplar, which means they have a rough hand. So I go ahead and ash that way they can't get the field spell. And we stop them with 2 hand traps. Nice. That's what we want to see. We have Karma Cannon, so we're at least going to survive 1 more turn. We go for Lady here. So the reason we go for Lady is that they play a lot of hand traps, so they probably have Ash, and I don't want to risk getting a big welcome and protect. Yeah, look, they had Ash. And this way, if I got big lady, I can still set a trap without getting my whole combo stopped by Ashe being negated. So they wanted to make a Barone there, so I used Karma Cannon to prevent them from doing that. Rollback. That's what we like to see, baby. But they have Ashe. Unfortunate. They had 2 Ashes, which makes sense because they bricked. So they tried to use that Bellstar's effect. I negate. I do not set rollback because they do not have Imperm in their grave. Okay. They use their normal summon. I bounce that back to their hand and their turn's over. So really a turn 6 here, but look who I just drew. Grab furniture, use the furniture, pitch transaction rollback, set a trap. Not gonna lie, surprised they didn't scoop. A lot of people when they see pitch transaction rollback, they do just like leave. But we're up against a mighty Snake-Eyes player, and I've had Maxi in my hand the entire game. 1 for 1. They're gonna special summon. I chain Maxi. They chain Gamma. I will. So notice that. Bounce Kook-Lock to my hands. In the same chain, set a custom trap. I sent Dogmatic a punishment, and I can use this twice because rollback's in the grave. I guess I could also use Karma Cannon, couldn't I? Look at all those chains. Kook-Lock back to my hand. Ariana draw a card. Draws evenly matched. Surprised I didn't set evenly matched. Because it's good to just have a set trap. That way your big lady can't be targeted. I use Dogmatic a punishment. They revive. Transaction rollback. Copy during a Karma Cannon. Use this before it gets put face down. Set a trap. Karma Cannon, flip the whole field face down. And yeah, and Kook-Lock comes back. So already we're seeing Karma Cannon putting in work. I mean, rollback. And yeah, next game. Up against a Thunder Dragon opponent here. And to be honest, I always thought Thunder Dragons were kind of cool. And it doesn't seem to be too many UR. What, really? Okay. This dude completely bricks. I'm assuming that means, I mean, kind of scary because it means he has nothing but hand traps. So I doubt this is going to resolve. Oh, he has a hand trap we don't care about. He cycles his hand for 1. Grab Stove Torby. Pitch rollback. Oh, it's goodness. And he... Oh, I remember this. It seems like he bricked, but he really just had a bunch of Bestials. And now he's going to completely pop off next turn. So a little unfortunate. Draws Druid's Worm. I get the second trap. He's going to do Thunder Dragon shenanigans. Yeah, because I need a good deck that fusion summons. Or an okay deck. Notice, we get Lovely. Now we cannot respond to our normal traps. We're going to copy rollback here. Again? Interesting. Oh, because I needed Lady on the field, so I could set a custom trap. Set Karma Cannon. Set off my chains. Oh my god. Druid's Worm on my furniture again. Pop a card from the hand, because why not? Draw Ashe. Love to see it. So I think with that Furniture Lab, maybe a reason to play Ariane in addition to Ariana, other than the rollback pitching, is that drawing 2 cards every turn to draw into hand traps could be really nice. He's going to try to draw 2 here. I'm not going to let him. Going into Dark Charmer. Sends my lady. Tries to revive my lady. I'm going to just put everything face down since it has to summon to the arrow he's pointing to. The effect does not resolve and he does not get to revive. So he wants me to kill this guy. You can read it yourself to see why. So I'm going to not do that. I'm going to play around that. Zoop. I will set a custom trap. You'll love to see it. I'll probably get Ariana here. Grab the field spell. Oh wait, is the field spell already engraved? It is not. Oh, I just wanted to get both furniture in rotation. I am a smart man. Kook-Lock come back. Battle phase. I will bounce that to the hand since he wants me to destroy it. This is going to reset my traps. Going to set off all my Labrynth chains. Oh my goodness. The furniture Labrynth chains are so ridiculous. Something you don't get to see when you play Trap Lab. Zoop. Minus well. Just why not? And I do not know how this man's still here. But you see how the deck snowballs on you. He still has gas somehow. That looks so bad. So I did not want him to, I really did not want him to use that card's effect because it looks pretty strong. It looks like it adds like 2 Thunder Dragons to his hand or something. I didn't want it, so I'm trying to pop it ahead of time, which I do because I'm the best on the planet. Set a normal trap. I activate Kuklok so I can use a trap this turn, and he's going to leave. But, no, connection failure, my bad. Okay, next game. Next game's up against Mathmech, yay! Do we go first or second? Oh, we're going second against Mathmech. Something the pure trap version of this deck can never do. But we have 2 hand traps, and if we're smart, we should be able to make this happen. He's going to go into Splash Mage. He's going to go into Alimbertion to add Circular, and that just no way. I really do not like Cyber's cards. I'm going to try to revive a thing, we're going to let him do that. And they go into Fireball Dragon. So maybe I should have used my Ghost Belle, but I thought they were going to go into the Link 3 that revives the Link 2. So we set 2 traps here. So the good news is that, well, there's an issue. So this is a spell trap negate. So I want to get Lovely out. That way they won't be able to respond, but they negate that. But the good news is I have a Karma Cannon. He's going to try to do a thing with this Cyber's nonsense. I say no to that. He revives. I use my Ghost Belle. Ghost Belle is the clutchest card ever. No one expects you to have it. Draw. Top deck of the century. Let's see what I banish there. Banish some good cards. Draw 2 more hand traps, because of course I do. At this point, out of desperation, I just set transaction rollback. I also think I believed they had an imperm in their grave. Who's going to link up 1? Link Dakota. Do I have rollback in grave? I do not. But I do have 2 hand traps. Crystal Heart G Golem. Doing Cyber shenanigans. So this could be questionable, but he's trying to draw a card, and I don't want him to draw 2. And I think if I can bait out Access Code, he'll destroy my rollback. He makes the Access Code. And I was correct. He destroys the rollback. So I could have used it for Destructive Karma Cannon, but to be honest, I'd rather use it for Engine, which is like crazy. I'll grab Lovely. 13,000 life points. So Lovely says Karma Cannon and Vase. Send Access Code away. I give him this guy with like 3k defense because he doesn't look like he'll be able to do anything for him. Lovely's gonna then pop something. I popped something in the hand, but maybe I should have popped something on the field. I wasn't sure if he could flip that back face up this turn. I don't think he might have been able to. And he'll scoop it up. Ha ha ha. We have defeated Cybers. Mathmech. Goodness. Up next, we have Manadium Tearlament Cybers pile. I do go first here. I will just get the other trap. Set 3. Always better to get the trap directly than get, like, a furniture. At first, I feel. They're going to max C, which is actually kind of annoying, but we have max C too. They draw 1. I have 2 Effect Veilers, and Effect Veiler is good because you can use them more than once per turn. And, risky business here, because I'm popping cards, and they want cards in their grave, but, yeah. I guess that would probably be a standard turn 1 combo. Up next, we have a game against Super Heavy Samurai. This is a cracked going first hand, and we are. Grab Kuklok. So, here's the thing. I said no turn 1 Kuklok plays, but in MasterDuel you can kind of cheat, right? So, and you could also get in trouble doing this, but sometimes you normal summon Ari, and it's obvious they have, like, no response, like, it's immediate. They could be toggled off, or you could risk it, and you can assume that means they have no hand traps. And here's my thing. Ari can be negated by Imperm. It can be negated by Ash, right? If I normal summon Ari and you have no response, and I think you have none of those things, I'm ripping 2 hands, but 2 cards from the hand, but it's really risky. And I have to pitch rollback anyway. So, I probably should have run over what happened. When you have Kuklok, and you have a furniture, use Ku Klok first, wait for the chain to resolve, and then use the furniture, because then Ku Klok will revive itself. But I'm going... So here I got scared, actually, because I was going to go for the turn 1 Rip 2, but I noticed they had a response all of a sudden, and it was probably like a Bestial or DD Crow, but I thought that meant they had Ash, and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to, like, bet everything on... I'm not betting everything on that. So I was going to think, oh, I'll get Lovely out, and then I'll use a Big Welcome, but I forgot that Ku Klok only lets you revive 1 trap, so kind of a noob move, and it was DD Crow, so I would have been fine. But I copy transaction rollback before they, like, get rid of my welcome trap, because it's going to be gone anyway. Which, you know, questionable if I should have done that, but I did it. So this is a pretty full board. But also, since I have Lovely, I can set a custom trap. And here we go. Get Karma Cannon, as per usual. Bounce you back to my hands. And then they do something kind of crazy here in a bit. Because I have activated 3 monster effects this turn. I pitch Regulus real nice. And they tribute 3 of mine off a Curry card. A 6,000 attack Curry card. And they're going to keep doing their Super Heavy Samurai plays. And I could have prevented this attack, but I decided to let them do it. Because, I don't know, what if I use my Karma Cannon and they can still play? Which they could. Like, look at all this stuff they're doing. I don't want to, like, go up against a cracked Super Heavy Samurai board. But it turns out they didn't. They stole my Big Welcome from Grave, but that actually doesn't matter for reasons you're about to see. Even though they revive my monsters, still doesn't matter because they don't play spell and traps. So it's not like they can chain something. So I'm going to get the field spell here. Because after I activate a normal trap, my field spell revives something from my grave. And I will grab probably Lovely. Zoop. I do. Kurikara got flipped down, so now it's back to 1500 defense. And it loses all its attack anyway. I bounce my own monster back to my hand, give me that. Activate Lovely effect to pop a card in hand, probably, because that Big Welcome there is useless. And it prevents them from doing things. Because some card... Well, I guess they don't play Imperm anyway. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. After tributing off 3 of my monsters with Kurikara, by the way. They're going to try to play the game. I don't let them do that because it disgusts me. And they will leave. Take that, Super Heavy. Our next opponent here is on 40 card Branded. I am just bewildered by how expensive that deck is. Going first again here. I guess last video I was, again, not following my own advice, doing the greedy Ku Klok plays. But again, if you normal summon Ari and they don't have a response, it's kind of cheating. You're not allowed to do this in paper Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you can't, like, obviously they don't light up if you have a response. But you could risk it. Or if they make me go first, sometimes I'll risk it. And it do be paying off sometimes. Sometimes. They banished my furniture. That might have not been one of those times. But yeah, sometimes I was not following my own advice. But you see, I still get both of them. So, not terrible. They have only 3 cards in their hand. Super Poly! Perfectly balanced card. They Super Poly my things away. But I can still revive Lovely, since I... like, Big Welcome's effect already resolved. And I pop a card they definitely needed. Pop their Oliver. They'll try to do something here. So I let them do this. I don't negate this because I saw a 6 and a 4. I was scared they had Barone and I just did not need that. So I'm like, sure, you can you can fusion away. They summon Draco's Tapelia, which, like, what are they doing? Oh, they're sending my Lovely away. That's smart. And they draw a card. I will use this effect, pitch my Effect Veiler for a Welcome. Ku Klok will come back to my hand. I thought of putting it in defense position, but I was like, there's no point because it's not lethal. Life points are just a resource. They're branded, so of course they're going to add like 4 cards back to their hand. Only 1 that time. Ooh, look who I have. Ari effect. They will try to negate that. I will attempt to bounce it because obviously I want furniture in my hand. They effect Veiler to negate it again, so wasted 2 negates on that. But guess what? My furniture come back anyway. Ku Klok effect. Ku-Klok effect there was actually very... Actually, no, because Ku-Klok would have revived itself. Anyway, I pitched ROLLBACK, and a lot of people just leave when they see that. Next game. Up against pure Snake Eyes. A Diamond 1 game. Going first again. I'll grab Big Welcome. Summon Big Lady. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions, one of which is searchable. Kashtira, yay! So, me being silly, Kashtira is everywhere. And I was like, oh no, I don't want them to like get their whole Kashtira combo. Yeah, it turns out there were a Snake-Eyes deck, so that wasn't very smart move on his part. But I still search my custom trap. They're gonna use Poplar, search the field spell. Ooh, I draw another Ghost Belle, kind of unfortunate. But I will just simply wait. Ooh, smart me. So I want to get rid of the field spell because a lot of people only run one, and that's how they can revive like their Flame Burge on my turn. Going to Linkaribo, which kind of... Oh, no, hold on, they're still cooking. Nightmare Phoenix. So mean. They're getting rid of my set trap card. They attempt to pitch Flame... Okay, so they attempt to pitch Flame Bird using Droplet, and Flame Bird would revive, but I have Ghost Belle. Ghost Belle is so funny. No one thinks you have it. But it's really good against Flame Verge. Because imagine if I didn't have Ghost Belle, though. Flame Verge would have revived 2 level 1 monsters. Probably... Did they have Oaken Grave? I don't know. It would have been bad, okay? They would have popped off. They pitched Flame Verge again, and they chain block it this time, so I can't negate it. So, unfortunate. But it's good that they have already used Flame Verge in my mind. They can't target me with their spell card to put me in the back row, so that's put one of their own monsters in the back row, which I thought was funny. Go into IP Mask. Poplar puts Flame Bird back in the back row. And then they go into Promethean Princess, and I'm like, what happens if I just bounce this? Because they're probably going to revive Flame Bird and keep going. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think they have plays if I just bounce this back to their hands. And they did it. My turn again. Battle of the Hand Traps. So, do I attempt a Big Welcome here? I do. And they leave. Snake Eyes. Ghost Belle's really good against them. We have arrived at my rank up match going up against Kashtira Snake Eyes. They only have 1 Diabell Star. Not the best opening hand, Jesus Christ. Which I thought was interesting because Diabell Star is a 7. Like, why wouldn't you run 3 of her if you run a Kashtira engine? Because I run Pure and I still run 3. So they're going to try to do level 10 shenanigans. I don't like it. I get rid of Diabell Star. They then send their Ash to go into... Forgot. They go Ash for Ash. But I have Effect Veiler. They're going to do annoying things because all their cards can banish something and like add something to their hand. They're going to draw a card here, and there's nothing I can really do about this. Because, again, my interruptions are gone. ROLLBACK's kind of dead in my hand, which is why I play 2 and not 3, although I was tossing around the idea of 3. I draw a hand trap, but I have Lovely, so not the end of the world there. I also have Ku-Klok. I will probably go Ari here, and they left. Anticlimactic, but I always keep the rank up game in here. Labrynth is cooking, and I believe we have a bonus game up in Master Rank because I wanted more replays. Coming at you with a Master 4 replay here, and I bring you the Mirror Match. This person's playing a really cool Dogmatica Lab build. He maxes me, but I don't care. Always good to have a deck that doesn't care too much about maxi. He wants to dig 6, and I'll be honest, I'm cheating here because I see that he has the Labrynth sleeves, and I'm a cheater. I don't care. I'm assuming he's on Labrynth. Now, I don't play Eradicator, but since he's on Lab, instead of setting Daruma Karma Cannon, I will set Terrors of the Overroot. That way, I can remove one of the traps they set prior to them happening. So they go Ariane here, and I realize I can't actually negate Ariane, because if I did, they would bounce it off the field with Big Welcome. So I was like, maybe Ariane is worth playing, because it can inherently protect itself with Big Welcome, but that's also just kind of a waste of Big Welcome's ability. I don't know. They'll go Ariana. They'll set a trap beforehand, that way I cannot target their Lady Labrynth of the Silver Castle, which is smart, but unfortunately for them, they haven't summoned it yet, so I'm gonna switch that and give them Maxi. Just the Overroot. This is so funny. And now, like, they bounce Lovely, but it doesn't matter too much. They make Baguska in an attempt to stall, which is really good with Ariane because she summons Ariana, so she's a 1-card rank 4. But I have Welcome in my grave, so I'm going to just bounce that. Okay. My trap revives itself, switch to attack mode, and they leave. So, yeah. A lot of going first in this video. Didn't realize that. But that was me playing with the transaction rollback. I know Duelist Cup is later on this month, so maybe I'll try the Dogmatica version. But I had a bunch of fun with it. Hopefully you do too. And yeah, that's about it. Bye!